Okay, for this chapter study, we're going to keep exploring our intervals. Today we're going to talk about sevenths and octaves. Okay, previous chapters we talked about doing some thirds, fourths, fifths, and sixths. This is where we're going to be playing two notes at the same time, doing some double stops. And a lot of these are going to incorporate skipping some strings, so we'll talk about some different ways to play it. Okay, for number one, we're going to do E major in sevenths. So I'm just going to harmonize the scale, climbing up the different strings and putting some intervals on top of it. Okay, for the first one, it's going to be an open and a six, and the way I'll count it out is the lower note to the higher note. So open six, I'll have my open sixth string, and then I'm just playing my sixth fret on the fifth string. Okay, there's the first one. Okay, for the next one, we're going to go 2 and 2, and we're going to split it up between our sixth and our fourth string. Now, we could also play it on the sixth and fifth string, but you're going to start to get some pretty big stretches, so that's why just skipping a string is a little more accessible. And then you can do pick and fingers, so I'm using like a pick and I'm using my middle finger. You can also strum them and just mute that middle string. We'll talk a little bit about both of those, but you'll see me mostly doing pick and finger for this. Okay, now we're going to go 2-2, and I'm on my sixth and my fourth string. I'm using my middle and my ring for these. You can also experiment with index and middle if you like to. Okay, from 2-2, we're going to go to a 4-4, a 5-6. I'm using my index and my middle. We're going up to a 7-7, 9-9, 11-11, 12-13, 14-14, 16-16, 17-18, and then we'll max it out at a 19-19. And then I'm going to recommend to play them up and down. Also want to point out on electric guitar, it's a little easier to get up to our higher notes. There's even probably a couple more higher ones, but play them until they run out of room, basically. If you're on acoustic, feel free to cut it short around your 12th, 14th fret. But I'm going to be usually going up to around my 19th fret. Okay, here comes number one. You're going to notice a lot of tension on these, and sometimes we're doing major seven intervals. Definitely have a lot of tension, and sometimes they're a minor seventh interval, a little bit less tension, but no matter what, they're pretty close to that high octave, so that's why you're hearing some of that tension. Okay, let's take it to number two. Now we're going to do E major with octaves. Now octaves are really fun on guitar. I use them all the time. You could be very percussive with them too and add some strumming. A lot of jazz players like to play them too. Okay, I want to point out for octaves, when we're based off of our low two strings, index and ring works pretty well. You can also use index and pinky, that works really nice too. Once we get to the fourth and the third string, our octaves are going to be a bigger stretch, and I recommend an index and a pinky for these. You could try a ring too, if you like, but the pinky seems to hold that shape a little bit better. So sometimes I'm going to switch with my ring finger for those strings into my pinky for the next ones. That could also be pinky for all of them too. So let's talk about number two. We're going to start off with an open E sixth string and then hit your octave on your second fret fourth string. And right there it's just two E's and then with an octave distance. Okay, now we're going to go to F sharp. We're going to do second fret and fourth fret. I'm splitting all these up with my sixth string and my fourth string. And that's your shape right there for your octaves based off of your low sixth string. And we'll see the shape again once we get to our fifth string. Okay, now we're going to go to a 4-6, 5-7, 9-7-9, 9-11, 11-13, 12-14, 14-16, 16-18, and then we'll max it out at a 17-19. Okay, here's E major in octaves. 3, 4. Okay, now as I mentioned, you can also just strum these and mute that middle string. So if I want to strum them, I'm just going to use my pick and finger for the first one. Then I could just go into my shape and pick it and just mute that middle fifth string. So this would be using the muting concept and just strumming these. Okay, for number 3, we're going to harmonize D minor, and we're going to do our 7ths, and now we're going to be based off of our 5th and our 3rd string. Okay, let's go ahead and start with the first one. It's going to be an open, open. Next one's going to be a 1 and a 2. Then a 3, 3. 5, 5. 7, 7. 8, 9. 10, 10. 12, 12. 13, 14, 15, 15, 17, 17, and a 19, 19. And then for a lot of these 6, I'm just using my middle and my ring when they're on the same fret. And then when they're backspace, I'm using my index in my middle. Okay, here's number 3. 3, 4. Okay, for number 4, we're going to go D minor, this time in octaves. Okay, first one's going to be an open and a 2, and I'm on my 5th and my 3rd string. Okay, now we're going to go into our octave shape, the same one we use for our 6th string. We're going to go 1, 3, 3, 5, 5, 7, 7, 9, 8, 10, 10, 12, 12, 14, 13, 15, 15, 17, 17, 19. Okay, here's number 4. 3, 4. Okay, for number 5, we're going to harmonize our A major, and we're going to use our 4th and our 2nd string. Okay, the first one's going to be an open and a 2. Then we'll go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 9, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12, 14, 14, 15, 16, 17, into an 18, 19. Okay, here's number 5. 3, 4. For number 6, we're going to do octaves. I want to point out our octave shape's going to change for the next 2 higher strings. So the first one's going to be an open and a 3. Now when we go to a 2 and a 5, you're going to notice the larger octave shape for these strings. Okay, now we'll go to a 4 and a 7, 6 and 9, 7, 10, 9, 12, 11, 13, 12, 15, 14, 17, and then we'll max it out at a 16, 19. Here comes number 6. 3, 4. Okay, for number 1, we're going to harmonize A minor, and we're going to use our 3rd and our 1st string. Okay, first one's going to be an open and a 1, then a 2 and a 3, 4, 5, 5, 7, 7, 8, 9, 7, 10, 12, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and then we'll max it out at a 17, 19. Okay, here comes number 1. 3, 4. Okay, for number 2, we're going to do octaves with our A minor. First one's going to be an open and a 3, then a 2 and a 5. Notice that's that larger octave shape. I'm using my index and my pinky. We'll go to a 4-7, 5-8, 7-10, 9-12, 10-13, 12-15, 14-17, and we'll max it out at a 16-19. Okay, here comes number 2, 3, 4. And then here's using more of a strumming with that muting that middle string. 3, 4. Another cool thing is to use your thumb. I got this from West Montgomery. It's a real soft sound for your octaves. It would be like this. Okay, for number 3, we're going to do octaves in G major, but we're going to just target one position. Now, we've been playing up and down the sets of strings. For this one, we're just going to kind of climb horizontally. Okay, for number 3, we're going to start off with 3 on our 6th string, and we're going to hit our octave of our 5th fret on the 4th string. We'll go up to a 5-7, same strings. Now go to your 5th and your 3rd string. We'll go 2 and 4, 3 and 5, 5 and 7. Take it to your 4th and your 2nd string, 2 and 5, 4 and 7, 5 and 8. And then we'll kind of max it out on our 3rd and our 1st string with the 2 and a 5, 4 and a 7, and a 5 and an 8. Okay, now here's G major going up in octaves, staying in our 2nd position. 3, 4. Okay, now I'm going to do the same concept but with the G minor scale for number 4. So we'll start off on our 6th string with our octave on the 4th string. It's a 3-5, 5-7, 6-8. Take it to your 5th and your 3rd string, 3-5, 5-7, 6-8. To your 4th and 2nd string, 3-6, 5-8. And then on your 3rd and your 1st string, 2-5, 3-6, and a 5-8. Okay, here's number 4, 3, 4. Okay, for numbers 5 and 6, we're just going to do some licks using some 7ths and octaves. For number 5, we're going to do a couple melodies in C major. So the first one, we're going to have our 3rd fret on the 5th string and our 4th fret on the 3rd string, up to a 5 and a 5, 7-7, and then back down to a 3 and a 4. So here's this one. Okay, for 5B, we're going to do an E minor lick. We're going to start off octaves with our 4th and our 2nd string. We'll go 2 and a 5, 5 and 8, and then we're going to slide up from a 4 and 7 up to a 9 and a 12. Okay, for 5C, we're going to do a melody in A major. We're going to start off on our 2nd fret and on the 3rd string with our 4th fret on the 1st string, into a 4-5, into a 1-2. Then we'll drop it down to our 4th string and our 2nd string with the 2-5 octave, and then to the 3rd and 1st string with the 2-5 and another octave. So this one's using some 7ths and octaves, and it would sound like this. Okay, for number 6A, we're going to take it to D minor. We're going to start off with some octaves. On our 3rd string, we're going to have 7th fret and then 10th fret on the 1st string. Drop those same 2 frets to our 4th and 2nd string, 7-10. Now we'll go to our third and first string, 5/8. Drop it down to 5/8 on your fourth and second string, and then back up to a 7/10 on your third and first string. Okay, here's this one. Okay, for 6B, we're gonna do a melody in E major. We're gonna start off with an open 6th string and our first fret 4th string. We'll go to a 4/4, 2/2, open 1, and then open 2. Okay, here's this one. Okay, for the last one, number 6C, we're gonna do some octaves in G and use some passing tones. So we're gonna do our third and our first string. We'll go 2 and 5, 3/6, 4/7, drop it to our fourth and second string for a 5/8, and then on our fifth and third string, we'll go 5/7, 3/5, 2/4. Okay, here's this one.